Have you ever felt like something inside you is broken, but you can't pinpoint exactly what it is? It's not a visible wound, not something you can show the world, but it's there, like a silent echo that follows you everywhere. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're going to unravel a secret that Carl Jung, one of the brightest thinkers in psychology, left for us. If you heal your inner child, you reclaim your personal power. Yes, you heard that right. It's not about looking outside yourself, not about more empty advice or social media motivational phrases. This is deep, this is real, and it's inside you, waiting for you to discover it. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let me take you on a journey that could change everything. Carl Jung wasn't just a psychologist. He was an explorer of the human soul. He believed we all carry an entire universe inside us, a world full of mysteries, shadows, and hidden treasures. And one of those treasures, perhaps the most important, is the inner child, that pure, spontaneous, authentic version of you that once existed without fear, without masks. But here's the problem. Life, with its blows, its expectations, and its rules, disconnected us from that child. Has it happened to you? Do you feel like at some point you stopped being yourself and became what others wanted you to be? You're not alone. This happens to all of us, and Jung knew it. Think about this for a second. When you were little, what did you dream of? What made you laugh until your stomach hurt? What filled you with endless curiosity? That child didn't go anywhere. They're still inside you, but they're probably hurt, forgotten, hidden under layers of rejection, criticism, or even traumas you don't fully remember. Jung taught us that this inner child isn't just a sweet memory. It's the key to your personal power, your authenticity, that strength that makes you get up each day and say, I'm worth it, I can do it, I am enough. But to reclaim it, you first have to heal it, and that, my friend, isn't easy. But I promise it's worth every step of the way. Now let me ask you a direct question. When was the last time you felt truly free? I'm not talking about a fleeting moment of happiness, like a good coffee or a nice compliment. I mean that deep freedom, that feeling of living as your true self, without pretending, without adapting, without asking permission. If it's hard to answer, don't worry, it's normal. Jung said the modern world has trapped us in a web of superficiality, jobs that don't fulfill us, relationships that drain us, expectations that crush us. And while we chase all that, our inner child stays behind, screaming for attention, but we keep looking the other way. Here's where Jung gets revolutionary. He didn't just describe the problem, he gave us a map to get out of it. According to Jung, inside each of us is an unconscious, a deep ocean full of symbols, memories, and emotions we don't always understand. And in that ocean lives your inner child. It's the part of you that holds your oldest wounds, but also your most powerful gifts. That child doesn't speak with words. They speak with feelings, with intuitions, with those gut instincts you sometimes ignore because they don't make sense. Sound familiar? Maybe you felt something wasn't right in a relationship, a job, a decision, but you let it slide because that's life. Mistake. That was your inner child trying to protect you, trying to remind you who you are. Let's pause here. Breathe. Close your eyes for a second if you want, and ask yourself, what is my inner child trying to tell me right now? You don't need an immediate answer, but plant that seed in your mind because we'll come back to it. Jung said the unconscious isn't our enemy, it's our most loyal ally. But to hear it, we have to stop, look inside, and face what we've been avoiding. And yes, that includes the shadows, those parts of ourselves we don't want to see, that we deny, that we hide. Because according to Jung, your inner child can't heal if you don't accept all of who you are, the good and the not so good. Imagine this. You're walking through a dark forest. There's a clear, lit-up path where everyone seems to go. But off to the side, there's a barely visible trail covered in weeds that calls to you in a way you can't explain. The lit path is comfortable, safe, what everyone expects you to choose. But the dark trail, that's the path to your inner child, to your shadows, to your truth. Jung would say most people spend their whole lives on the lit path, following the rules, living half a life. But the brave ones, the ones who want to reclaim their personal power, Dare to step into the unknown. What would you do? What are you doing with your life right now? Let's talk about something we've all experienced. Relationships. Yes, those connections that can fill us with life or leave us completely empty. Jung had a unique view on this. He believed the people who come into our lives aren't accidents. They're mirrors. They reflect parts of us, sometimes the parts that hurt the most, the wounds our inner child still carries. Think about that relationship that drained you, that person who seemed to suck up your energy like a black hole. What happened there? Maybe you felt trapped. Maybe you kept giving even though you got nothing back. Jung would say that wasn't a coincidence. It was your unconscious showing you a lesson. Your inner child needs boundaries, needs self-love, needs you to protect it. When you were little, you probably learned to please others. Be good, don't make noise, don't upset anyone. And that habit stuck with you, right? Now, as an adult, you keep putting others' needs above your own. You keep saying yes when you want to scream no. But here's the twist. Every time you do that, you're abandoning your inner child again. You're telling them, you don't matter. And silently, they shrink back more, taking your joy, your creativity, your power with them. But it doesn't have to be that way. Jung invites us to break that cycle, to look at that wounded child and say, I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you. I'll be honest with you, healing your inner child isn't a pretty Instagram process with candles and relaxing music. It's raw, it's uncomfortable, sometimes it hurts like hell, but it's also liberating. It's like taking off a backpack full of rocks you didn't even know you were carrying. And when you start to let go of that weight, something magical happens. You reclaim your energy, your voice, your ability to decide for yourself. Wouldn't you love to feel that? Before we move on, I want to tell you that my book is now available. It's full of tips and techniques to help you overcome emotional blocks and love yourself more. Find the link in the description and the pinned comment. Let's continue. Wouldn't you love to wake up one day and know, deep in your soul, that you're living as your true self? So here's a challenge. The next time you feel that pang of discomfort, that intuition telling you something's off, don't ignore it. Listen, ask yourself, what does my inner child need right now? Maybe they need rest. Maybe they need you to say enough. Maybe they need you to walk away from someone or something draining you. Because your energy, that spark that makes you unique, is sacred. And Jung knew it. He taught us that protecting it isn't selfishness. It's the first step to reclaiming your personal power. Okay, now that we've laid the groundwork, let's dive even deeper. If you're still here, it's because something inside you is resonating. Something's telling you, keep listening, this is for me. And you're right, this is for you. Carl Jung didn't just talk about the inner child as a nice idea. He saw it as the core of our psyche, the starting point for understanding who we are and why we act the way we do. So grab a coffee, a tea, or just stay with me, because now we're going to explore how those wounds from the past, the ones your inner child still carries, are shaping your life today, especially your relationships and your self-love. Think about your childhood for a moment. You don't need to go into the darkest details if you don't want to, but ask yourself this. Was there a moment when you felt you weren't enough? Maybe it was a comment from an adult, a comparison to someone else, or just the silence of someone who should have said, I love you, but never did. Those moments don't vanish. They get etched into your unconscious, and your inner child carries them like fresh wounds. Jung called these complexes, bundles of emotions and memories that affect us without us realizing it. And guess what? Those complexes don't stay still. They show up in your relationships, your decisions, the way you treat yourself. Let me give you an example that might sound familiar. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you had to constantly prove your worth? Like you were begging for love, attention, a bit of recognition? You tried hard, gave everything, but it was never enough. Why do you think that happens? Jung would say it's not just about the other person, it's because your inner child is replaying an old pattern. Maybe as a kid, you felt love was conditional, something you had to earn, and now, without realizing it, you keep playing that game, seeking from others what you haven't given yourself. Let's pause again. Breathe. Do you see yourself in this? Is there someone in your life right now who makes you feel this way? Don't judge yourself if the answer is yes. This isn't about blaming yourself, it's about understanding. Jung taught us that our relationships are projections. What we see in others, what bothers us or attracts us, is a reflection of something inside us. If you feel trapped in relationships that make you small, it's because your inner child still believes that's what they deserve. But here's the good news. You can change that story. You can heal them. Healing the inner child, according to Jung, doesn't mean erasing the past. It's not about pretending those wounds never existed. It's about integrating them, embracing that little you and saying, you don't have to fight alone anymore. I'm with you. And when you do that, something incredible happens in your relationships. You stop seeking external approval. You stop begging for love. You start attracting people who see you for who you really are, not what you can give them. Doesn't that sound like a personal revolution? Now let's talk about self-love, because this is the heart of everything. Jung believed we can't truly love others if we don't love ourselves first. But here's the catch. You can't love yourself if your inner child is hurt and abandoned. Imagine that child sitting in a corner of your mind, waiting for you to look at them. Every time you criticize yourself, every time you demand perfection, every time you compare yourself to others, you're telling that child you're not enough. And they shrink more, hide more, taking your confidence, your peace, your power with them. I want you to do something with me now. Imagine that inner child in front of you. What do they look like? Are they sad, scared, angry? It doesn't matter how they look. Just look them in the eyes and say, I see you, I love you, I won't leave you again. It sounds simple, but this is powerful. Jung said the unconscious responds to symbols and emotions, not just words. When you give love to your inner child, you're sending a signal to your whole being, I deserve to be okay. And little by little, that love starts reflecting outward. You look in the mirror and don't see flaws. You see strength. You talk to others and don't shrink. You stand tall. But here's the hard part. Healing your inner child also means letting go. Yes, letting go of those relationships, those habits, those beliefs that keep you tied to a version of yourself you're not anymore. Jung talked about individuation, the process of becoming who you're truly meant to be. And for that, you have to release what doesn't belong to you. Think about that person who drains you, that friend who always criticizes, that partner who makes you doubt yourself. What would happen if you let them go? Not with hate, not with resentment, but with the calm of knowing your inner child deserves better. I'll be straight with you. Letting go is scary. It hurts. It makes you question everything. But Jung assures us that the emptiness you feel after letting go isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's like cleaning out a closet full of old clothes. At first it feels empty, but then you have space for the new, for what truly fits you. And when you let go, your inner child breathes again. They reclaim their laughter, their lightness, their power, and you start walking through life with a strength you didn't know you had. Let's talk about dreams for a second, because this connects to your inner child too. Do you remember those goals you had as a kid? Maybe you wanted to travel, create something amazing, live a life that excited you. Where are those dreams now? If you feel they've faded, it's not because they're impossible. It's because your inner child stopped believing in them. Maybe someone told you you weren't capable, or life hit you so hard you locked those dreams in a drawer. But Jung tells us those dreams don't die. They're waiting for you to claim them. When you heal your inner child, those dreams light up again. Not as a childish fantasy, but as a real force that pushes you to act. Because your personal power isn't just about feeling good. It's about doing, creating, living in line with who you are. And the right people, the ones who inspire and lift you up, start showing up when you align with that truth. It's like the universe says, finally you're ready. We're reaching the final stretch. And if you're still with me, I applaud you. This isn't just any video. It's an invitation to transform your life from the inside. Carl Jung didn't just give us theories. He gave us tools to wake up, to heal, to be who we really are. And in this last part, we'll tie it all together. How healing your inner child gives you back your personal power, and how that changes your relationships, your self-love, and your place in the world. So stay, because this is going to be intense, personal, and above all, yours. Let's do a quick exercise. Close your eyes if you can, and think of a moment from your childhood when you felt fully alive. Maybe you were running in the rain, drawing without caring about the result, or just daydreaming without limits. Got it? That's you in your essence, before the world told you how you should be. Jung believed that state of authenticity is our birthright, but we lose it when our inner child gets hurt. And those wounds aren't always big traumas. Sometimes they're small cracks. A you can't, a be like the others, a don't be so sensitive. But those cracks build up, and over time, they disconnect you from your power. Now open your eyes and hear this. You're not broken. No matter how much you've been hurt, no matter how many times you felt like you don't fit, your inner child is still there, ready to rise with you. Jung taught us that healing them is an act of courage. It's not about blaming anyone, not your parents, not your ex, not yourself. It's about taking responsibility for your own healing. And when you do, you reclaim something no one can take from you. Your personal power. That power that lets you say no when you want to, that lets you chase what you love, that lets you look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of who I am. Let's talk about relationships again, because this is where it all gets tested. When your inner child is hurt, you attract chaos. Jung explained it with his idea of the shadow. Those parts of you that you reject get projected onto others. Have you ever felt like you always end up with people who let you down, or that you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over? That's not bad luck. It's your unconscious asking you to look inside. But when you heal your inner child, that dynamic changes. You stop looking for someone to save you and start looking for someone to walk with you. And the relationships you build from there don't drain you, they fill you. I'll give you a brutally honest example. Imagine you're with someone who constantly criticizes you. Every word they say is like a jab, and you stay there hoping they'll change. Your inner child, that little one who just wanted love, is screaming, "Get me out of here!" But you ignore them because you're scared of being alone, scared of not being enough. Jung would say that relationship is a mirror of an old wound, the belief that you don't deserve more. But when you heal that child, when you give them the love they never got, you stop tolerating what hurts you. And then something magical happens. The love you give and receive becomes authentic, pure, powerful. And it's not just romantic relationships. Think about your friendships, your family, how you treat yourself. How many times have you stayed quiet out of fear of rejection? How many times have you said, "I'm fine," when you wanted to scream? That's your inner child asking you to set them free. Healing them means setting boundaries, speaking your truth, choosing yourself first. And yes, some people will leave when you do that. But the ones who stay, the ones who see you shine and cheer you on, those are the ones worth keeping. Now let's talk about you. Yes, you listening to this right now. What's holding you back? What fear, what doubt, what voice in your head tells you that you can't heal, that you can't be bigger than you are now? Jung reminds us that the unconscious doesn't lie. If you feel an emptiness, if you feel something's missing, it's because your inner child is calling you. And answering that call isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Because when you do, you don't just reclaim your power, you start living a life that truly belongs to you. Here's a tough but liberating truth. No one's going to do this for you. No one's going to show up with a magic wand to heal your wounds or give you back your power. But you can. Jung gave us the map, but the journey is yours, and you don't have to do it perfectly. There'll be days when you doubt, when you cry, when you want to give up. But every step you take toward your inner child is a step toward your freedom. And over time, you realize the chaos, the pain, all of it was part of the process to get here. I want you to imagine what your life would be like if you fully healed your inner child. Imagine waking up every day with a peace you can't explain, with a confidence that doesn't waver, with relationships that lift you up instead of pulling you down. Imagine chasing those dreams you left behind, not because you have to, but because you want to, because they burn inside you. That's not a fantasy. That's what happens when you reclaim your personal power. And Jung knew it. He said life isn't about cheap happiness, it's about wholeness, about being all you can be. Now I'll leave you with this. The universe responds when you align with your truth. Jung called it synchronicity. Those moments when everything clicks, when the right people show up, when doors open. But for that to happen, you have to start with yourself. Heal your inner child, embrace your shadows, live from your authenticity. Because when you do, you don't just change your life, you inspire others to change theirs. So here's my call to you, my YouTube family. If this touched your heart, if you felt something shift inside you, don't let it end here. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, a friend, a family member, someone searching for their own power. Leave a comment below and tell me, what wound of your inner child do you want to heal? What are you letting go of today to reclaim your power? Your words don't just inspire me, they inspire everyone who reads them and help this message reach further. If you're not subscribed yet, do it now and hit the bell. Every week I bring content like this, designed to awaken your mind and soul. Don't miss what's coming, because this is just the beginning. And if you share, if you comment, you're part of something bigger, a community of brave people choosing to live from their truth. Thank you for being here, for listening, for being you. Life is full of possibilities, and you have the power to choose how to live it. Heal your inner child, reclaim your power, and watch the world change with you. See you in the next video.